Welcome to N.Cast.
Oh dear.
If you stop listening, you will be exterminated. Exterminated!
Get off, you-
Exterminated!
Excuse me while I choke the Dalek. Anyway,
Hey, you told me I had to do a Dalek impression last week.
now my shoulder's hurting. Anyway, we have a guest this time. Say hello, Charlie.
Hello.
He's
He
not,
said hello.
he doesn't seem like the most enthusiastic guest. To be fair, after that intro, I would be a little scared too, because that was amazing.
You're talking too quietly. Speak up, bitch.
Yeah, well, that was an amazing intro.
Right. Firstly, on today's episode, we're going to talk about William's reaction from the last episode, Echo the Dolphin playing. Go, Will. Talk about your feelings.
Okay, so Echo the Dolphin is a
It's a
special game.
Lovely game.
You
Time
know,
traveling.
yeah, time traveling dolphin alien fighting is kind of fun. However, as you might have noticed if you watched the last episode, although I'm not sure because it wasn't really clear, I kind of got a little bit pissed off with it.
By a little bit pissed off and not very clear, he means he threw the controller across the room, screamed loudly, and stormed out of the room. To which I ignored him and continued talking about the animes and games.
Now, I would like to point out that was after being stuck on the same level for about 3 hours.
It was an hour and a half.
Just a fun reaction, though, so I can
That-
dolphin.
Okay, so
Yeah, but this whole time he was stuck on an octopus,
I
which
would
we
like-
called Cthulhu.
I'd like to point out, after I rage quit, I went back and played Echo the Dolphin, and I beat that level.
What about the next level?
I didn't get past the next level.
Then shut your mouth.
But I beat the level I was stuck on. That's the important thing. So, overall, I say Echo the Dolphin is a good, fun game.
If you
which-
have the patience and not shit at games.
I'm not shit at games. Better than you at platformers, RPGs, and that kind of shit.
RPGs we haven't really tested who's better, and I beat Final Fantasy 8 and 7 if you
And
remember
we're
correctly.
evenly
No.
matched
Your
in
sister-
real-time strategy.
Real-time
anyway.
strategy we matched. Warhammer I kick your ass.
Yeah, but that's turn-based. Turn-based doesn't count.
Turn-based does not count. Civilization, anyone. Anyway.
So, yeah, Echo the Dolphin, overall,
Real games.
it's a game. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about Echo the Dolphin, which I'm slowly getting better at, but not at a rapid pace.
Right, that was just Will's reaction. Now we're getting on to the main part, animes. Right, first off
Whoa,
was...
we're starting with anime? That's new.
That's
Before
what
we
you
start with
did.
video games.
That's what you've listed, you
Hey,
bastard.
I just
Yeah,
listed
no,
in
it
order of
does
what
say
we
on the
came up with.
topic notes, video games first, James.
It does.
Well, that's your fault for writing the list.
Whatever, we'll go
Right,
straight
people,
to anime. We'll go
people
to
are
anime.
cunts and William's a twat.
We'll
You
go
can have
to
throw off the whole order, James.
I don't care!
Whoa. James has had a bit of a special.
You don't go full retard. You never go full retard. Anyway, first off, Black Lagoon. William's clueless on this one, and I spoke about it last time. Charlie, you can help me here, can't you?
Wait,
Is
wait,
it?
wait,
I
wait,
haven't actually watched
Can I just
it, but
guess
I've
a second? Can
No,
I
you
just guess?
cannot.
go on, have a
Is it an anime about a black slime?
We don't care about your opinion, Lawrence. No, it isn't.
No.
Oh, okay.
Right,
It's
what do you know about it?
decent. It's an anime about like a gang of mercenaries, isn't it?
Technically it's a gang of illegal couriers which work for mafia,
Wait, I think this
Russian,
is the one you were talking about last time.
ex-military. Yeah, we only did a small
Where they were
overview of
like,
it.
there was the racist black pirate.
No, he wasn't black. He wasn't racist. He was black, and he was the blooming leader, owner of the shit they're on, which is technically just a small military PT boat.
Okay, I just remember it as
Then you have
the
the-
racist black pirate.
Then you have the female gunslinger,
The
the office guy who kind of got kidnapped and joined them anyway, and the computer nerd, all working as couriers for mafia, ex-military soldiers. Not you. You're not even evil.
No, I'm a
You're not
Illuminati.
even. You're not even counted as
I'm
devious.
beyond evil. I'm so evil that I'm not even classed as evil because evil isn't evil enough.
One thing
to
I learned from the
describe me.
anime is the Italian mafia and the Spanish mafia both suck balls. I mean, most of them are speaking in high-pitched voices and getting shot by the female gunslinger.
Hey, James,
Or the Russians.
James, you're kind of
the only
shouting.
the only stuff I've
Well, if you
seen
haven't
is
noticed, we kind of
Yeah,
can't
but
hear
don't,
you.
don't shout.
I
Shouting
don't give a
isn't necessary.
I don't
Sometimes
care.
shouting's necessary.
Huh?
Sometimes you need to shout.
Sometimes you do.
William, last
James
episode.
never needs
William,
to shout.
last episode.
That was during video gameplay. It doesn't.
The stuff I've seen most of it, though, is just been, I think it's balalaika.
The Russian lead, the Russian
Yeah.
mafia leader with a burnt face, and the Chinese mafia leader, which is basically awesome. But no, most of the thing it just ended up being fights between Russians and random newcomers to the island, and the main guy's trying to survive the whole time.
Wait, so it's like Harvest Moon, Island of Happiness.
No, there's
Except
guns.
instead of farmers,
There's mafia guns.
Yeah, okay. So instead of building an island by farming on it, you
And
build an
evil
island...
maids with umbrella shotguns. If you've watched Black Lagoon, you'll get that.
Away from my dad.
Anyway, now that we're sure that we haven't woken Williams down and unleashed the oncoming storm, and which is going to kill us. Anyway, where were we?
You mean the doctor?
Yes, the Doctor.
Okay.
Your father is Doctor Who.
Yeah.
My
He's
God.
the oncoming storm.
Where's he keep his TARDIS? It's the shed.
It's in the basement.
He fixes it's now a
No,
shed.
it's actually the rabbit hutch.
Damn. Oh, those rabbits is psychics.
Well, Houdini is pretty amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, but he
You have
probably
a rabbit
disappears
called
on the-
Houdini.
because
Yeah,
it disappears.
It escapes a lot.
Buddy, that had a name.
It's really smart. It's annoying. It's outsmarted me several times.
I like how he gone from Black Lagoon to bunnies.
It actually is a black bunny, though.
That wins this argument, boy.
Yep.
2 arguments out of 10.
Okay, so back to Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon. Anyway, recently finished the OVA, which is basically counted as a 3rd series. Yeah, that shit scared many children. Like this thing William's holding. If you remember,
Terrifying.
if you remember My Little Pony's read through of the fan fiction Cupcakes.
No, that's behind you.
Yeah, William also has that weird little purple dinosaur plushie.
Spike.
Spike, is that what it's called? I don't
And
care.
it's not a dinosaur, it's a baby dragon.
I don't
God.
care. Right, now I've angered the resident brony. Charlie, you're not a brony, are you?
No.
Good.
Damn it, I missed this week's episode. Never mind. Anyway, Black Lagoon.
Yeah, I've noticed in the OVA that the maid woman who returns to the island of Ranapur is actually gone psycho bonkers crazy. That's his stomper, Charlie, which I sat on.
Which I fixed.
Although it seems to be tipping over. It is kind of
It's
funny.
meant to tip over.
Yeah, the maid has gone psycho bonkers crazy and proceeds to kill about 24 people in
Well,
20
hang on, are
minutes.
you going into spoilers here?
No. Everyone does that in that anime. Everyone knows this. Everyone
What
kills
about
everyone.
everyone who hasn't watched it? Do they know that? Because
I knew that.
Everyone kills everyone in that damn anime.
Okay.
It's pretty much a blatant obvious thing.
Okay, as long as we don't go into spoilers.
No, we're going to spoil
Like
it.
Snape
So,
killed Dumbledore.
I have to put that picture in again now. You're going to make me put the same picture several times.
Oh, by the way,
I
Bruce
got
Willis was a ghost the entire time.
Was Rosebud the sled?
Rosebud was the sled.
Ah.
Oh dear. I'm sorry, people. I'm going to have to add a lot of pictures, and they're going to be
Darth
flashing.
Vader's Luke's father.
They're going to be flashing by very quickly, and Darth Vader kills the Emperor. Cough, cough.
Wait, what? No.
Oh no! Anyway, next animes, which we'll be talking about, is Soul Eater and Fairy Tail. Charlie, I think you'll
Wait,
be
no, we're
leading
not
on this.
talking about Fairy Tail.
Oh no, not Fairy
It's
Tail.
not it.
Soul Eater.
That will come later.
We'll be doing that next time.
Spoiled the next podcast. Everyone sent him hate mail.
I'll delete. I'm not giving you my email. Fuck off. Right,
Okay,
Charlie.
What's your email? What's this email one?
I'll link it in chat, don't worry.
You don't even have my email.
Yeah,
I have
will.
your email.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
I
I
do
do.
because I had to invite you to D&D.
Yeah,
Oh,
we have it because we had to invite you to our campaign.
Shite. Do not send me hate mail, people. Anyway, Soul Eater. Go, Charlie.
Wait, is that an anime about a person who eats souls?
More or less, yeah.
Cool, then.
Well,
It's more blatant obvious than Black Lagoon. What's Black Lagoon about? Oh, you know, tropical, nice blue ocean, people shooting each other, and Nazis. Neo-Nazis, which die in the first episode they appear in.
Okay, so Soul Eater.
the basic plot of the anime is you've got these two kinds of people that go to a school run by death.
people in this world.
You've got Meisters, who are the people that control the weapons, and Soul Eaters, or what are they called? But they're like people that can turn into weapons for the Meisters to use. And yeah, it starts off with them just trying to collect 99 souls of evil humans.
99
and
red
witches'
balloons floating in the sky.
So why do they have to collect souls?
Because
Oh,
if
it's a
the
bit louder.
the weapon eats the soul, basically, of an evil person.
Whoa, that sounds awesome. That sounds almost as cool as...
Soul Eater, the video game, which was
Yeah.
totally awesome.
Yeah.
So damn awesome. No one bought it, really.
It doesn't stay on that for too
Because it was a different plot.
long. But yeah, if they eat all the souls they need, they become a death scythe,
Dead side.
which is a weapon of death.
Is that an evolved
I
form
would
of
never
Cypher?
No, it isn't. Shut up.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
shit.
it goes Caesar, then Death Scythe.
Death scythe.
Right. Sayuki William. Go.
Wow, we're moving on that quickly.
Well, Charlie ran out of things to say about solely, and you did basically round up all into a sentence. Is it people who eat souls? Yes. You ruined it for everyone, you bastard. This anime's just lost half an hour of material because of you.
Don't worry, we've got about 3 hours of like the last couple of topics.
God. I was watching that at the same time as watching D-Man Grey. Don't watch D-Man Grey, it's so fucking boring.
D-Man
Wait, you were watching 2 animes at the same time?
Yeah, don't watch D-Man Grey, it's so boring.
I heard of it. We want to speak up because people can't hear how boring D-Man Grey is.
D-Man Grey is very boring. Nothing happens in it for so many episodes.
Okay, so Sayuki. Sayuki is actually probably the anime that got me into anime in the first place.
Because it is funny. I've only seen like about a dozen episodes.
You also saw the movie, which
Which was
we don't talk about that movie. We don't talk about in Requiem.
First rule of Sayuki: do not talk about Requiem.
It's pretty terrible. But Sayuki is an anime. It's basically, if you've ever heard of I think it's a Japanese or Chinese legend about like journeying to the west. Like it's one of the most famous legends where a group of travelers travel to the west to fight to kill like this demon lord who's trying to be resurrected. But it takes that concept and then like adds a load of other random shit into it, and it's basically like if you look at most stories of this journey to the west, it's always holy men on this holy
I should be
pilgrimage.
doing a
It's
video
Journey
recording
to
of
the
this.
West,
You're
the
doing
one
so
with,
many hand gestures.
Wasn't Journey to West the thing with the monkey in it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
there is
the
a monkey
Son
in
Goku.
it.
Yeah,
There's
Son
a monkey
Goku.
in it.
But
And he's hungry and stupid.
But yeah, generally, like, it's done with holy men. But in Sayuki, it's basically a bunch of fucking assholes who have the most angsty backstories ever created.
Right, the backstories I remember. Son Goku was trapped in a prison cell, was he not, for most of his life?
He was trapped in a prison for over 400 years because he fucked up heaven.
Then you had the friendly looking guy, what was his name? The one with the glasses?
Hakai.
Hakai.
Oh, Hakai.
He was a
Okay, so yeah, you gotta remember the other 3 characters that aren't Son Goku were also gods in heaven who were thrown out of heaven because they backed Goku when he fucked heaven up. So they're all people who have been cast out of heaven to be forced to live lives of mortals because Goku's an asshole. So Hakai, his backstory, from what I can understand, he married his sister, who was then kidnapped by demons and raped, and then impregnated, so she committed suicide, and Hakai killed every single demon who was like even slightly involved, and ended up becoming a demon himself because he killed over 1,000 demons.
Huh? Yeah, one human kills 1,000 demons because they raped his married sister. Then you have the crazy smoker drunkard guy. What's his name again?
Gojo.
Gojo.
Gojo's backstory is that he's a half demon, half human who
Sex bomb.
half demon, half human whose mother hated him because it reminded him that her husband cheated on her with a human and tried killing him, and then his brother killed his mother to protect him.
Oh, it's just like the Jon Snow of the anime.
Yeah. And then you have
Yeah, what happened to his brother?
His brother joins up with technically one of the main bad guys, even though the main bad guy is actually kind of a good guy, but he's
Spoilers.
forced to fight with
Spoilers,
the
man.
other guy. Well, no, that's like really, really obvious really early on.
Yeah, you get that kind of early. I mean, first 3 episodes when you see it, it's like, yeah, he seems kind of good, but doesn't
Well,
work.
even on the first image you see of like, oh yeah, we're being led by this guy. Like in the
Yeah, I don't want to fuck with that. No.
Then you have the priest.
oh the
The priest is the best.
priest's backstory is he was for some reason found in a river, and then this
Jesus!
this high priest
Jesus!
this high priest took him in and then was murdered by
Oh, Jesus has an angsty backstory.
was murdered by demons so they could get these scrolls.
I'm gonna call this episode Christian Special.
We talk about Jesus.
But yeah, basically Sayuki is a pretty amazing anime. It's really good fun to watch.
We should get the backstories of the bad guys too, because they're not really good bad guys. They're
Oh
kind
well,
of good
like
bad.
the only one who
They're
has,
anti-good.
Yeah, anti-hero bad guys.
the only anti-hero bad guy. Well, yeah.
Sorry, the main team of hit bad guys are kind of good guys.
The
They're
ma-
bad.
Yeah, the main team of
Led by
bad guys
idiots.
is led by this guy who has the angsty backstory of his father was like super evil, tried destroying the world, and then him and his mother were trapped in stone even though his dad was an asshole and he didn't want anything to do with it.
And his mother's kind of a bitch.
No, that's his That's not his real mother.
Oh,
his
is that
real mother's
the?
still stuck
Oh,
in
that's
stone.
the mistress, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the guy's
Oh.
mistress.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, it's a pretty great anime. But yeah, the problem with Seiyuki is they never.
Spoilers. I bet he kills her.
The problem with Seiyuki is they never actually finished the anime.
Oh.
They got to this amazing.
Oh, they pulled a berserk.
More or less. I don't know what that is, but yeah.
Oh.
Berserk is just a guy with a giant sword. It's basically Cloud Strike's blade to life.
They never really got to the end of it because.
Although he looks like Zack.
Even in Japan, they never.
I'm
really
Zack
got to the end.
again. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, even in Japan, they never really got to the end of it, which is kind of a shame. Because it got to this really great point where they just took out, the final fight. There you have this massive battle between the good guys and, this second group of bad guys who come from somewhere, but I don't want to spoil it. And then it's like, oh yeah, and we're right around the corner from the tower where the main bad guys are. And then the second season is them miles away again because it's meant to be the stories they never told. And they keep doing that and they never get to the fucking tower. Even though they're right around the corner from the end of the first season. It's really depressing.
Dear.
On the subject of anime endings, what's the worst one you've actually seen?
The worst anime ending ever.
Oh, worst anime? I think it's on our list.
No, worst anime ending.
Oh, ending?
Yeah, worst anime ending.
You watched Fate Zero?
No.
The ending to that is
Evangelion.
Actually, that made the most logical ending. Everyone fucked over Doe because Gendo's god.
Actually, to be fair, the worst ending, not because it's a bad ending, but because I just don't like it. Because when I watched it, I was like, what? That makes no sense. It's like, if you ever see The Cat Returns.
It's My Little Pony ending.
I really dislike that ending because, I know the point is that she's trying to become human, but she goes into the cat world and there's this other cat who's trying to help her all the way through, and she ends up falling in love with this other cat. They're just like, fuck you, I'm becoming human anyway.
Wait, well, I haven't seen The Cat Returns. It's one of the few Ghibli ones I
She
actually want to watch.
it
but
really pisses me off.
Doesn't
because
she
it's
basically rescue him and then...
is she human originally?
Yeah.
Then
And she
they
wants,
take her...
the
her
whole
to
story
his-
is she wants to become human again after becoming cat. But then,
You shouldn't
she
get
falls,
with cats.
she falls in love with this, cat who's been helping all the way through. And then, when she has the chance to become human, she's like, fuck you, I'm becoming human. It's like, why build up a love story if you're just going to ignore it?
Because it's a cat.
Yeah,
You
but
don't fall
build
in
up
love
a
with
love
cats.
story.
No, you don't fall in love with cats.
Bitch, you don't know William Lawrence.
Hey, cats are people too.
William, you have 5 cats.
Anthropomorphic cats are people too.
Anyway, before we go too far and start getting into dirty furry relationships...
On the subject of dirty furry. James, how's yours going?
Excuse me, I'm not a very... Oh, Connor, how's Connor doing? Or Tom Case? Tom Case has furry pictures on his laptop and phone.
No, that was hentai. That was hentai.
Still furry.
No, it
No,
wasn't
no,
furry
Jacob found
hentai.
furry stuff on his phone and
And
laptop.
hentai. Tentacle furries.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Anyway, before we go too far and ruin people's lives by telling everyone they're furries, I believe we're on to video games now.
Wow, really? We're that far in? It's only been 20 minutes.
Apparently we only listed 4 animes, 1 reaction, 2 games to talk about. We probably could put the shit Mind Jack in there and talk about that for 10 or so minutes. Because I
Okay.
can talk about that, about how bad it is.
Okay, let's jump to
Hitman
Absolution.
Right, I've been playing the game a lot recently, Hitman Absolution, and I'm currently
I
in the
completed
prison.
it.
Shut your whore mouth.
I haven't played any of it.
I'm in the prison cells in a minute, stuck behind 4 guys, 3 of which are beating up this random civvy. I decided not to help the civvy after trying 3 times to just blow
Okay,
their
before
heads
we
off.
go into too much detail, we should probably explain what Hitman Absolution is.
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone knows Hitman.
That's untrue because I know people who have never heard of Hitman.
The fuck are they living in? Under
I've
a
heard
rock?
of Hitman. I don't know what absolutely
Okay, so
different
the
to
old
regular
the
Hitman
old
is.
Hitman games were basically made by a company.
We do our research so well.
But basically, Absolution is meant to be the continuation of the original series, but it's made by Square Enix.
Which
not
is
the
actually
original
done, but
creators.
they still have done it rather well, actually.
Yeah, they
did
did
it rather
really
well,
well.
unlike Final Fantasy. They could every
And
game they've
Tomb
bought so,
Raider.
every game they've bought so far has failed miserably, other than Hitman Absolution. I think they've done really well.
Yeah, Absolution is actually done pretty well. But yeah, that's basically what it is. It's the continuation of the whole old Hitman games made by Square Enix.
I'll just look up who made the original.
Without giving too many spoilers,
Everybody dies.
Hitman turns against the organization for reasons which I will not explain because spoilers.
Everybody dies.
Shut your whore mouth, boy. You better not be giving me spoilers. And
Is this the one that has the little girl?
yeah, basically, throughout the way, the organization he works for is trying to get after a little girl, and he's trying to protect her.
It's not a little girl. She's about 60.
I don't give a damn. And what's he, a tall, bald guy with a blooming barcode on the back of his head? Shut up, she's a little girl.
I can't remember how old 47's actually meant to be.
He's a clone, deal with it. He's 47, actually.
No, he's not. I think he's more like 30 something.
Anyway, and the whole point of Hitman is to assassinate and make your way through levels, trying to do it as secretly and as silently as possible.
Well, you could
could
take
do
that
that,
approach,
But if
or
you want
could,
to...
or you could just kill everything.
Like my
inside.
favourite part was the courthouse, where William's way of doing it was shoot everyone.
Well, no, to be fair, I'd gone through that entire game trying to get Silent Assassin, and that's how I'd been playing the game. And my dad, like, because I play games with my dad generally, he got really pissed off with the fact that I would be spend hours on each level trying to do it perfectly. And I got to the courthouse, and he was still moaning at me. I was like, "Fuck's it!" So basically, I hid in round the corner into a door frame, and then basically started shooting random civilians, and all the policemen flooded into this courtroom, diving behind the court chairs and shit, up on the balcony, and I just stood there with a high-powered shotgun and just took my time taking out every single
Yeah,
cop
because
in
you
the
can find a
building.
shotgun in that room to the far side with that one police officer staring at a wall
Yeah.
in.
It was so good.
Yeah, my way of dealing with that officer was throw a vase at him and wait for him to walk forward about 1 meter and then just take him down. It's brilliant.
But yeah,
way,
that was just
my way of doing it, I took ages trying to find a silent assassin route through it. So I did. Got behind the judge, and instead of waiting for him to come through, I shot him in the back of the head in front of his.
You don't need
in
to
the
touch
audience.
the judge.
Actually, it's an easy way because if you knock him out, put him in a cover, take his uniform, you can sneak around anywhere you want and get into the thing with silent assassin.
That sounds lame. It's way funner to just fucking murder everyone.
I did that 5 times. I had to change
Murder's
that.
never justified.
Plus, William, speak up.
Some people deserve
You're talking
murder.
quite.
No.
You two talk quite.
Murder is never justified, internet people. It's never justified.
Are we saying that just
Unless it's an anime and your
let-
sister gets raped.
Let's get this clear.
Then
Then
it
murder's
is.
justified.
Wait.
Only if you married your sister first, though.
Wait, no. Let's just get this clear. Are you saying that because you want to make sure we're not liable if anyone starts killing people who's listening
Yes,
to this?
disclaimer.
Oh, okay, it's a disclaimer. But otherwise, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People, you must not murder people, children,
Disclaimer.
unless they murder your family or your sister. Then
Assuming
you
you've
full
married
rights.
that person.
Then you have full rights to kill them.
Yeah.
You will be arrested by police, so don't hold us accountable. Anyway. What's it about Absolution? I'm
Actually, thinking about murder, I have been watching Dexter recently.
Oh, for goodness sake.
That's the one about the.
Dexter is
The nerdy assassin.
No,
Yeah.
it's about basically a serial killer who works in forensics, and it's fucking hilarious.
I've only watched one series of that, and that was the stuff with Trinity.
Oh, I just watched the first season. I just finished watching the first season, which is really good.
Right.
Yeah. the
Anyway.
Trinity stuff gets a bit
But yeah, he
weird.
chops up people and they're never found, and it's a pretty beautiful way of killing. Not that killing is good; it's a pretty beautiful way of killing people.
William's psychotic evil side shows through yet again.
Killing is bad.
Okay, everyone here knows our secret jobs. I'm secretly an advertiser, apparently.
Yeah.
William's an evil villain who wants to give it all robots. Charlie, what's your secret backstory?
So run me through your guys' again.
Well,
Yeah, he's actually a secret advertiser
advertiser.
who gets paid like £5 to say this game is amazing, everyone
Buy
should
Coke.
play it.
on a bad side story, you should buy the new Coca-Cola flavour. Death.
And you are?
Everybody knows I want to.
Everyone knows he's a supervillain who wants to lead a world of robots.
Well, not robots. Skynet would also be preferable.
That's also robots.
No, Skynet is a super advanced AI system.
So,
Yeah, it's-
Charlie, what's your? Do you have any secret story?
None that I'm willing to share at the moment.
Don't
I
worry,
know-
we'll get him to reveal it.
I don't know if I trust you people yet.
We just told you our secret stories. What's your problem?
That was a mistake, wasn't it?
Nah, nobody can do anything about it. Jacob is the only threat to me and my plan.
Well, and Luca if he gets on a bad moment.
Never, Luca.
You just see a guy in a white Assassin's Creed outfit climbing the wall. Damn you, dirty Mexican, get down! It's like boof.
Okay, so Hitman Absolution. Anything else to say on that?
The jail cells are a bitch.
The jail cells are really easy.
The
prison's
jail
a
cells
bitch.
are easy.
How do you get?
The
You
jail
haven't even
cells
played the game, shut up.
Yeah, but I've
So
heard by
Okay,
word of
how
mouth
do
that
you
they're
do
really
it?
easy.
How do you do it?
Okay, actually, before I say,
Word of William's mouth does not count.
before I say that the jail cells are really easy, I have to admit I've also completed the original 3 games with Silent Assassin on nearly every level. So when I say the jail cells are easy, they're easy for me because that game is piss easy compared to the others.
I mean, no, go for the chance. I'm in the prison. 4 guys. I take out one, take his uniform, and hide a body. They still freaking notice you in 2 seconds flat if you've got an outfit on.
I can't remember how I did it, but you got to remember, as I said,
And there's like 10 guys right in front of the door. You're
It's
trying
like-
to.
easy, James.
basically
Really simple.
try getting Silent Assassin on all the levels in Blood Money, and you'll understand why I say that game's easy.
That's not fair.
Yeah,
no.
it took me
I was
a-
elected to lead.
It took me
not to
about a
read.
week. It took me about a week to get Silent Assassin on all the levels in Blood Money, and that was like a week of straight playing. And each level took me about probably 4 hours because I had to map out the patterns of every fucking enemy.
Oh dear.
It was crazy.
Right, to add some filler to this damn podcast, should we talk about the shit Mind Jack, which I'll probably just
Wait,
fill
why
in.
do we need filler?
Well, it's only half an hour and you were complaining a minute ago.
Oh yeah, let's add some filler.
Right.
Yeah.
On the subject of your robot overlord leader,
Oh yeah.
how do you plan to like? Do
I'll be a
Russia?
secret advertiser.
How do you plan to do Russia? Because that doesn't ever work.
Wait,
You know?
That'll be the
We're
slave
trying to take
workers.
Russia, just never works.
Well, you forget.
Well-
the reason that is because they never packed winter gear. Robots don't need it.
the robots need to eat.
No, they're
No.
robots.
Yeah, but they
Nazis,
need like.
the Nazis, they forgot to take winter clothing. They weren't ready for it. Napoleon's army didn't take the gear ready for it.
Yeah, but they also.
Robots don't need clothing. They don't need food.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's cold. What if they're like really cold?
Well,
Because
they're
their
heat-
fuel. What's the fucking freezing point of fuel? It's much higher than it'll be cold there. And
well, no, they're not going to run off of fuel. They're going to be run off of like
magic.
bioenergy.
wind turbines on their heads. Whoosh.
No, they're going to consume.
Oh no, we've got to America.
They're going to
Oh, wind turbines
consume
on America.
the people they kill, and then you turn that into bioenergy.
Wow, that's grim. I pity the part when it gets to children. Or children being the slave army.
No, they get more power from children.
So what you do? Your robot are going to devour everyone and leave you no one to rule over? Because that seems kind of counterproductive.
No, he
doesn't
rules over the robots, James.
Aw.
That's kind of productive. Robots don't do
James,
different
James,
anyway.
James, you also forget that I believe the perfect world is one that has no humans in it.
What about me?
So you need to die.
Eventually, but I'll die of
Oh,
old age while
what?
the rest of society is dead.
What? I never agreed to that.
What?
Never agreed to that.
Go on.
And I'm William Secret Advertiser. I'll be there. Only be there as long as I need him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like-
You got James for your propaganda. You got me for your style points.
You've already get Jacob when you decided you're a secondary tactician.
Yeah.
You need some people alive. Robots aren't very fun to talk to.
No, anyway, I probably won't end
Yes,
up
they are.
going with robots in the end.
Beep, beep, beep.
Anyway, robots
I
are...
find them very compelling conversation.
What robots do you talk with, Charlie? Tell me.
Like the ones in my head, of course.
Yeah, this is why I'm probably not going to end up going with robots. I'm probably just going to go with Skynet instead.
So
Because
just take over the
all
world
hell
and
Skynet.
scare them with AI superiority.
Yeah.
Suddenly, I'm reminded of the game by Binary Domain again. That game was good. Sega, very good, secret and evil.
Don't buy Sega games, children.
Sega are on the rise, and you know that evil empires.
Service games.
Don't buy the games, people. Viva la resistance.
Viva la resistance. Hang on, you need to do that to William then. He's gonna
Viva
be...
la resistance.
You're dead
Service
first.
games.
Anyway, next
What
game.
else service games?
Right, to add some filler, Mind Jack. I talked about it
I
last
think that was
time.
enough filler, to be honest, but you could add more.
I talked about it last time, and I just realised as I go through more and more levels, it's even shitter than I thought.
Whoa, no need for the S word.
Okay, it's even beep than I thought.
Whoa, no need for the beep word.
Son of a bitch, I'll kick you in the balls if you
Ah.
keep talking.
Whoa!
I'm being teamed up on.
So Mind Jack is basically about
It's a game where
It's
people
a
take
game
over
where
minds
people
of
have, like,
enemies.
like a jack, and they plug it into computers, and then their mind
William,
explodes.
William, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, William.
Whoa, there's no need to use my name that much.
Damn it, Lawrence.
God, you're so
Basically, is
violent.
I am a yes man.
You're a yes man.
I am a yes man. I will agree with that.
We need a yes man. Jacob's not here, so we need a yes man.
Yeah.
Jacob's only a yes man until he's drunk. Then he's no yes man. He's like gonna beat the shit out of you, man.
I get like that occasionally.
Yes, we know you do,
It's
Charlie.
a mind jack.
Before we go to alcoholic problems, William's not an alcoholic. I drink now and again, and Charlie's violent.
I had a dream I
alcoholic.
drank a load of alcohol. They got laid.
Yeah, you wish.
Just saying. Kids are cool.
Anyway,
On the subject of getting drunk, and that would never work for me because you don't want to be around me when I get really drunk.
yeah, you'd be the abusive boyfriend type.
Well, for some reason, it
To
was.
Harrison, I think Harrison gets that the most.
For
Abusive
some
boyfriend.
reason, like in this dream, I have no idea what the hell was going on, but it was.
William, we don't want to know your vet dreams. We're talking about
No, no, no.
podcasting
It was-
here.
it was
Children may be watching.
It was during a convention.
Cover your ears.
Cover your own children.
No, it was during a convention, right? I think it was meant to be
The
alcohol.
only time you ever have a chance.
No, it was during a
When
don't
someone's an
enjoy-
Ewok
No, but it had
outfit.
nothing to do with the convention either. For some reason, I went to this woman's house who turned out to be a doctor that I had apparently been married to, but she divorced me. And then we just ended up having sex. It made no sense.
Right, I thought I was going towards what I've
On a
seen.
less disturbing note, James, continue with what you were saying.
Quick, the
Just
shit game's
saying.
better. The shit game's better. Right, shut your whore mouth, William. Right. Mind Jack is a great game compared to what William just said. In reality, it's crap. In reality, it's crap. But, yeah. Like I said last time, there's two weird AI things going around, and they can control
Oh,
certain...
you mean Cupid and Spiritbot
Shut up.
from Sonic Colors?
Shut
I-
up.
Yeah.
You want to remain silent for the next 5 minutes. Right. They take over people's minds, and one's evil, one's
Okay,
good.
do it.
One's Skynet, and one's basically Charlie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not say Charlie is the anti-Skynet, because Charlie clearly isn't the anti-Skynet.
He's violent and drunk. He's anti-Skynet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm disorganized and violent.
that's all we need to know. But his heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
Well,
We've gone off of Mind Jack again. But basically, the main guy you play as is controlled by the good AI, which I don't know why the bad AI don't try to take over him and shoot him through the blooming skull, but, you know.
because then you wouldn't have a very good video game.
You don't have a very good,
Good
video game
games
anyway.
It'd be better if you just shoot him
You'd
like,
have
oh,
a
shit.
shorter
Plot
bad
twist.
video game.
That's
No.
better. That
You-
improves the
No, because your
experience.
AI, you could just go off somewhere else to take out another guy, like a random civilian or a 2-year-old with a pistol. As if that would work. Yeah, but in the game, you can take over people and robots, and you just fight your way through
Why a
levels, isn't it?
2-year-old?
Because you never suspect a 2-year-old to kill you.
Actually.
But
Actually,
it's
it might
weird
be past.
It's weird you automatically jump to 2-year-old.
Yes,
This
James.
is
Oh, for fuck's sake, here we go.
this is going back to psychologist podcast.
No, I was being the psychologist last time. We're not doing psychologist
No,
podcast.
psychologist podcast was like 2 weeks ago when you were
I
like,
was just
I
being-
hate all twins.
Interesting.
No, I'm just scared by them.
Well, James, tell us more of your
So
points.
wait, so
He knows it. I
Hang
just
on.
think they're all creepy
hang
in
on,
a way.
so let's continue.
That's very interesting.
No, we should really look at this though, right? Because so far we know that James is creeped out by twins, and he also has a weird obsession with 2-year-olds killing him.
No, killing
When you
people in
were
video
yo-
games.
When you were younger, were you abused by a group of twin 2-year-olds? Is that what's happening?
People, I will be cutting this out. It's
No,
first.
you won't.
I'm the editor here. You cannot control me, bitch.
I think this should stay in, to be honest, and we should explore this more.
You know, we're gonna do a secondary
Yes,
kind of podcast, psychology podcast.
Can I use you as like a case study?
No, you may not.
Actually, he does do psychology,
Yeah.
so it would be really helpful.
Fuck's sake.
I'm going to be using you as a
You
case
make a joke and suddenly everyone's a psychologist.
I'm not good at psychology.
And-
All right, here we go. Let's
Now,
see what you go with.
And viewers, if you have any opinions on James's weird 2-year-old twin obsession,
If you
let
can also
us
find out
know.
why if you can also find out why I'm terrified the shit out of spiders, let me know. Well, that was obvious. 8-legged fucking 8-eyed freaks.
No, it's because as well as the twin 2-year-old.
Twin spider 2-year-olds.
Never spiders.
Oh, it's being combined. My nightmares all in one.
Okay.
Anyway, can we move on for that, please?
Never.
Or do you want to do your case study now, Charlie?
I'm gonna need to.
No,
We've got somebody coming in and breaking into the house bedroom.
Okay, so interruptions, yet again, everyone loves interruptions. They happen at least once an episode.
Talk up, you're being quiet.
Well, that's because I'm now facing away from it. But, yeah, we get at least one interruption an episode. So, that was today's interruption. Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, I know, it's quite funny. Anyway, you gonna do your case study because I don't think we're getting out of there, so do you want time to plan it?
I need to think, so I can get deep in that
questions.
noggin of yours.
We'll go back to the case
Right.
study after.
We'll get at that at the end when you've done everything else.
Yeah.
Right, Watch Dogs. Right, what's everyone heard about the new game Watch Dogs? Because this
Okay.
is quite looked forward to,
There
the
has
hype is
been
building up.
so many trailers on Watch Dogs.
I mean,
and to be honest,
The
when
current catchphrase is "believe the hype," which I believe is going to be bullshit. But
when I first
they might as well
heard,
done it for Duke Nukem Forever. Believe the hype of 13 years of work.
when I first heard about
And
Watch
4
Dogs, to be
companies.
fair, I didn't think it was going to be that great. Then I started watching trailers, and it kind of looks cool because you hack into shit and you can like change traffic lights and make stuff crash.
Yeah, the
into
guy's
stuff.
basically on a vendetta to kill some people, and I don't know
The
why. I can't
AI
remember
in
the
that game looks really interesting.
But
as well.
there's an AI system there's a computer system which is throughout the world, and he's able to control it using his technology and his phone and stuff. So he can use it to change traffic lights, cause accidents.
Do we know
break
when
into
it's meant to be
places.
released?
No, I do not know yet.
I know
And
sometimes
it looks
this year.
really good. It's like Hitman of technology. Not pistols and bolt heads and barcodes.
One system I saw that looked really cool is like to get away from the police, you can park your car up, turn the lights off, and the police will just drive by. Because not if you're like being currently chased by them, but if like
they're
like a
not
police
behind-
car drive past and that hasn't spotted you yet.
So what you're saying is if you hit
The
something
AI
and just
yeah,
park,
the AI is actually
because
interesting.
the same blooming registration number on the back doesn't hint to the police, hey, he might be there.
No,
Nope.
it's fine.
That's fine, let's go.
Mm.
It's like Metal Gear Solid.
Actually,
What was that
Speedy
noise?
parking.
I was just imagining.
Thinking about hype though, right? Half-Life 3.
That's never coming out well.
Well, I've come,
No, it will come out, but no one will know about it. It will just be there on Steam.
well, no, I've come up with the theory that that game can't be released anymore because it's been like they've waited so long to release it, and there's so much hype around it. There is no way they can release that game because it could be the best game ever made,
And
and
it would
it
never
wouldn't
live
live up to the hype.
Like Duke Nukem Forever, but then again, the hype kind of didn't even. The game didn't meet the hype even close.
But yeah, like it
That
could be
was
the
a bad
best game
game.
in the world, and it would not live up to
Hey,
the hype.
hey, Duke Nukem Forever wasn't a bad game. You could throw shit at your bad enemies. It was brilliant. No shit. It was the worst game I'd ever played.
Actually, it was the best. He's lying.
No.
You should buy that game.
You should buy that game and then burn it and throw it in the garbage with the ET games.
No, buy the game.
The only game which I hated more than that was Rayman Learning with Numbers, or whatever it was.
Oh, clearly you've never
The
played
Rayman
Mario
educational
Typing.
game. That game I haven't played.
Mario
but
Typing is evil.
yes, we've seen that. It looks crap.
Evil.
Right.
No,
We don't
wait,
know
actually,
no one knows much about the plot of
Okay,
Watch
just-
Dogs because they've kept it quiet, so people don't go fucking over and getting spoilers.
Yeah, okay, actually, I just said that ET being buried with trash, I might need to explain that. So,
I think people know what happened about E.T.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
watching this, they know about E.T. and what
That's
happened
not
to the
it, they
game.
might be watching it for the anime section.
Also,
Yeah.
don't know if you mentioned you'd
Right.
be having a special
Okay,
guest.
we'll go
You
over it
only
quick-
found out like yesterday.
We'll go over it quickly.
So, they probably just came in for me.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We'll go over it quickly. The E.T. game was made in about 5 weeks after the guy who was told to make the boss of the guy who was told to make it. Which
Exploded.
right, do this. You have 5 weeks. Go. The guy basically made the shittest game ever, which you can't blame him. 5 weeks to make a game was not good. It was so bad they buried it under concrete after steamrolling it.
Actually, I think we can agree the shittest game ever was Colonel Custer's Revenge.
Oh, that was not
Which we do not talk about in polite company.
that
don't
that
ask.
game is just sick. We will not be talking about it. If you know the game, you know what we're on about.
Anyway, so yeah, E.T. was like...
Custer and Native Indians are not good.
Anyway, E.T. was like crushed by a bulldozer, then buried under like 6 foot of concrete. True story, because they dug up the E.T. games that were crushed by the bulldozers.
Apparently, a
and
few
concrete.
still worked, from what I heard, but very few, and they were just thrown away instantly.
Okay.
Although one person tried to sell it on auction, got £100, from what I gathered, but that might be fake rumor. I don't know.
Actually, thinking about great stuff on eBay, like the guy who sold a penny for 200 quid.
What?
Well,
Was this for a charity or something?
no. This guy put up a penny on eBay, and people were joke bidding 10, 20, and this fucking idiot comes out of nowhere, joke bids $200, and then because of how eBay works, as soon as you say that you'll pay it, it's a legally binding contract. So the guy had to pay 200 quid for this because he thought that somebody would outbid him, and nobody was that fucking dumb.
Got a penny though. Yeah, so he only was out like £199.99.
Yeah.
Right.
You get like a bottle of the little Coke, the little Coke sweets for that.
Yeah.
Right. I think we're done. Watch Dogs. Anything else to mention? Because you haven't heard much about it, have you, Charlie?
Watch Dogs, go on.
No. It looks like a really good game, but the hype might kill it. I never listen to hype, so I often find a game which everyone else said is crap is actually still good.
Yeah.
Well, that's your opinion, but your opinion's often wrong.
Well, come on. We've looked at games before, both me and you, and even we've said sometimes that the game's good despite everyone else saying it's crap.
Because
Can I have an example of this, please?
like for example, Sonic Adventure has the best voice acting ever made.
No, I think we both agree on that. That's a joke, but it's like Sonic Generations.
Ooh,
People
actually,
like that
thinking
game.
about
The game
voice
is
acting.
good, but it's too short.
Thinking about voice acting, something I wanted to talk
Silent
about
Hill.
that I forgot was
Resident Evil.
I recently got a new free game.
Mario.
I recently got a new free game on PlayStation 4 called Stick It to the Man. It's called Stick It to the Man, and it's this fantastic game. The gameplay is kind of average.
Charlie's finding things under William's bed.
The gameplay.
Charlie, why are you under William's bed? Get out.
The hell?
The gameplay.
Secret treasury under there.
The gameplay is kind of average, but what makes that game amazing is the dialogue for that game is great. Like basically, it's an indie game where you play like this guy has this alien in his mind, and he can like read people's minds. And there's this great bit where he reads this guy's mind, and it has the most retarded form of product placement ever, but it's hilarious. Where basically you read this guy's mind who's been trapped in a boot of a car by the mafia, and he's just like talking, and he's basically saying, "Oh man, I can't believe I got trapped. My girlfriend's gonna kill me. I wish I was home playing Silver Surfer for the NES." It's like, if only I'd spent my time trying to work out how to break out a car boot rather than playing Silver Surfer for the NES. It was I don't regret my time playing Silver Surfer for the NES. That game was rad.
Advertising.
It has such amazing that game has such amazing
stealing your
dialogue.
gig.
Yeah, bastards. Right, time to get my hunting rifle.
It has such amazing dialogue. Like
If you have a gun, you can come along.
there's this other bit where you get trapped in a mental institute for this for one reason
Probably because you think you can hear people's minds.
I can read people's
yeah.
minds. Of course
Yeah, you get
Go
you get
sit
trapped
in
in
a nice
this-
cushioned room.
you get trapped in this mental institute, and
And you become playing the game Outlast.
and suddenly the game
Changes to Outlast.
everybody in this mental institute is obsessed with tea as some weird homage to Alice in Wonderland.
I'm going to this blooming place. It has tea. I'm going to the mental asylum. If it has tea, I'm going there. British
And how
asylum of tea.
how that game how you stick it to the man in the final level is just the most fucking hilarious thing ever. But I won't spoil it. But yeah, it's an indie game called Stick It to the Man, and it's absolutely great. The dialogue is amazing.
Do you know the dev company that made it?
Huh?
Do you know the dev?
Shit, I'd have to look it up. It says, but I can't remember.
Right, we better talk louder because it's kind of just going mumble. Anyway, I forgot another game I've been playing recently is Metro Last Light,
Metroid.
which is really, really good.
Oh, that's the one with Samus, right?
Going to punch you now.
Is that the one set in the underground train station?
Oh yeah, where Mother Brain's like trapped under there.
Will you shut up,
Oh
Lawrence?
yeah, and don't kill the puppies, right?
Damn it, Lawrence, you killed the
Wait,
puppies.
anyone understands that reference?
No.
Wait,
Anyway,
you don't
yes,
understand
Metro
that
is where you're
reference?
underground.
Like in one of the old Metroid games, like you have this choice, like you can either kill Mother Brain or save the animals, or basically the planet blows up. So if you don't save the animals get blown up.
Right.
Save the puppies.
Right. Anyway, back to talking to Charlie, the only other same person here. Yeah, Metro is basically based in Russian underground subways and train tracks. People live there after a nuclear war, World War III, which I'm pretty sure will
Fallout.
start.
Wait, no, I thought Metroid Last Light.
Metro.
Metro Last Light was based in Chernobyl.
No.
Wait, I'm sure
No.
the Metro games were Chernobyl. I-
He's
They're in
playing the
Moscow.
game.
But I'm
They're
pretty
in
sure he's wrong.
Moscow.
They're in Moscow.
I'm pretty sure he's wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Wait, what about the original
Currently, we're under
Metroid?
Moscow.
What about
No, the original Metro is
Metro?
also under Moscow.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure that you're wrong and it's
No.
Chernobyl.
I'm pretty sure I'm not.
There's
There's
a-
nice big
No,
Kremlin.
I think Will's right.
Don't give me that, yes man.
No, but there is a game that's like Metro, but it's about Chernobyl.
Is it called Chernobyl?
No.
Metro Incidents. Metro Chernobyl edition.
No, I'm
Anyway, in the game you play this Russian guy Artyom, who basically gets thrown into it for no apparent reason. You're just there, a normal guy who's been making weaponry and stuff. Suddenly, hey, go outside and save us all.
Weapons.
Suddenly, go outside and save us all. Wait, what? Yep, they just push him out of a vault. Like, there you go. Here's a gun.
That is
Go
the
fight.
one with demons that fly around and shit, right?
There's flying mutants.
So it is the one based in Chernobyl.
No, it isn't. It's based in Moscow. Shut the fuck up. The Kremlin is not in Chernobyl.
Actually, I think you're wrong.
Oh, for God's sake. We're not here to confuse the nerds, Willie. We're meant to be here to help them. Shut up.
Oh, the what?
Find good games and anime. Anyway, before we get into the issue of where the Kremlin is again. Yeah, basically in the game, you actually no. If I go into that, I'll be giving spoilers. It's a good game. Not another picture, damn it! That's another goddamn spoiler picture I got up here, for fuck's sake. I'm gonna put like 24 photos into this damn thing for editing.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
I might just put a camel dancing animated video over the top. Yes, like that, William.
Please don't.
Please do, I heard.
No.
I heard please do.
Please no.
Oh, yeah, we also need to talk about music for this podcast at some point.
We need to get Jacob.
Well,
to
of course,
do it.
and my sister was saying that you can get decent free music from Newgrounds that you don't need to worry about copyright for.
Oh, might have to try that. Anyway, next section, because I don't want to give spoilers of Metro. That picture's just staying on that whole time. I'm just extending that picture's length.
No, you have to put it up for like a brief second and take it away.
Just flash up. Just over the screen. Oh my god, my eyes!
Well, no, now when you do go, you have to have like, just appear like all over the place in different colours.
I can't do that! I can't do that with my video. Learn!
Whoa.
You learn. You want to do it, you learn.
Okay, but no caramel dancing.
Fine.
Yes.
We can all understand no camel dancing.
Okay, so Metroid Last Light.
Metro, shut the fuck up, we're done. We're leaving it there. Bye.
Oh,
Chernobyl, that's fine.
I've had enough of you and your bullshit. Madam, here with your bullshit.
Okay, so what's next on the list?
Warhammer.
Well, no, it's not, because we're talking about that later.
No. Model upgrades.
No, we're talking about that during the thing.
Fine, you could have done that during the beginning.
I didn't put a tick next to
What's
it.
the thing?
I didn't know.
Look, everything
What
we
about?
talked about has a tick next to it.
We talked about Mind Jack, fuck off.
Oh, that's because fuck you, that's
We
why.
need filler. Anyway, fine then. You told what you wanted.
Well, we're moving on to 5e.
Go on then!
Okay, so 5e.
You
It's a
two
thing.
know about it.
But for the uninitiated, that means 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons.
Which apparently was announced ages ago, but I only just found out, so we're talking about it now, not like 3 episodes ago.
It's meant to be I just got finished reading of Dyson.
You know, I'm going to say this,
cannot
guys,
remember
but we
who-
can't hear you.
I
You
just
can hear me.
I'd like to apologise to your listeners.
If
Okay.
you have become deaf from that, I should have put a warning, don't use headphones. I'm not going to put a warning even now.
Okay, so anyway.
Yeah, I just got finished up reading of Dyson Men. I cannot remember the name of the
That's the one where Lenny, like, has a glove of dice, right? Yeah. And he keeps it soft for his wife.
Oh, God.
Uh,
Back to 5th edition.
But, yeah,
Please.
I cannot remember who that name of the writer is.
Bob.
Yeah, no.
Well,
you should
call
read
him John Smith.
You should read that book, by the way. It's a good book if you're into D&D stuff.
you should also read Super Mario, How Nintendo Conquered America, because James was meant to read it, but he didn't.
But yeah, he managed to get a kind of an early edition of it to play test it and go to a few of the like Wizards of the Coast's meeting stuff about it. And when he said he played it with his people, they seemed to enjoy it. So
Okay, so I understand that there was a lot of people were like, "What the fuck? Even the 5th edition so early." But
I will not be adding translations.
Let's be fair about this. 4E came out
Fuck is
pretty
that?
long ago.
The fuck
not
is
in
that?
terms of D&D.
William, is this what you think the female anatomy looks like?
No, that was me trying to explain what League of Legends is to my sister.
That's a pretty accurate description.
Yeah, it looks like a female anatomy.
Yeah, I will just look up the years a second.
Okay, so yeah.
But no, 4th edition is no time.
But it's still like years.
Yeah, but it's like for 3 manuals, 60 quid. Additional models, another 20 quid.
I'd also like to point out that people almost unanimously agree 4E is shit except for the monsters. So why are you complaining about a new one if you hate 4E so much?
Because it is $1. It is expensive to buy those books.
Then get a PDF like everyone. That's not legal. But
It is with the 3rd edition. No, isn't it legal with the 4th? Because they know they made it legal with the 3rd edition because they wanted to.
I found PDF for 4E because I haven't bought the player's handbook yet because I couldn't afford it.
I know they made it legal with the 3rd edition. 3rd edition's a very enjoyable edition. You'd like it. 2nd edition's the best though.
Please talk up. I don't think they can hear
2nd
you.
edition is the best.
Second
James, which is your
edition
favourite
the
edition?
best. Yeah,
I
what
don't
is
know.
your
I haven't
favourite?
really read any of them, but the
Go
one
on,
we're
James,
using in a
what's your-
minute. The one we're going with the minute, whatever. we go
Okay,
with.
because that's not actually any edition. That's my own private rule set.
Oh, that's
based
why
on
it's
Neo,
bullshit.
based on Neo rules, loosely.
Loosely. Using different character leveling.
I don't know. I haven't looked at any edition rules. I don't know what's going on.
I
with it.
think you like 2nd edition, James. That's
Why?
what we'll be playing after in summer.
I think
Right.
you'll like 4E because the monsters are fucking hilarious. 4E is broke.
D&D editions. Date.
You broke it. No. Yeah, by the way, we're just like waiting for him to look up stuff. So
Yeah.
me and James are going to beat each other to a pulp.
Die!
No.
Die!
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. Calm the fudge down. Okay. So.
Don't you stop, Charlie! Don't you stop, damn it!
Okay, so.
Stop it, Mr. Yes Man.
Did you look it up yet?
Yes.
Did you look it
Find
up
the
yet?
William.
Yeah, hang on. Okay.
Wait, you realise it probably says on the back of my 2 books?
Yeah, I got him now. The owner's changed, so it might not say. But yeah, the original first set was 1974,
Yeah.
and then you had a few like basic sets plus AD&D in 77 to 79.
Right.
But that's still first edition. They're like supplementary stuff. Then you had so from the original you had 7 years till the basic second, and that's basic. That's different. AD&D then was released in 89.
Right.
So, looking a solid 10 years after, pretty much. Then you had 3rd edition, which was 11 years afterwards. And then 4th edition was released in 2008. So, that's not actually that long. That's 8 years after 3rd edition. So you're only looking now about a year or
8 to 11. 8 to 9.
6 years.
9 to 10. 10 to 11. 11 to 12. 12 to 13. 13 to 12. 6 years is still a long time.
It's not that much compared to, like, the next shortest is 8 years.
William tried doing A-level maths to us to count with his fingers.
I would like to point out that I can't do simple math in my head. I can only do super complicated maths. Simple maths is really, I don't know times tables very well, but give me an algebraic formula and I'll solve that shit.
Yeah, but algebra's the only proper maths.
Yeah.
Multiplying does
Algebra's
not count
easier.
as proper. No, some of it is, and some of it is fucking.
I know some of it gets bullshit, but I like algebra. But I like
you hated algebra.
No, I got along well with algebra. It's similar equations and algebra mixed in with
Similar equations.
percentages.
That's like
That-
basic.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
like
mixing.
super easy.
If you let me finish mixing with percentages and shit,
That's
I didn't
basic.
like math.
That's super easy.
It's because you bullshitters do blooming A-level shit.
I can
Actually,
see
no,
further.
we do further.
I don't give a fuck.
I want to do a maths degree.
I do not want to do that.
Maths the race.
Master
Right, if you guys are done being...
is that people with pi signs for eyes, and then
Are you guys done with your
Or after the
nerdgasming?
hair.
Are you guys done with your nerdgasming? Can we either talk about 4E again, or whatever you talk about, and then move on to the next subject?
Okay, we should move on to Pickup Monkeys.
I thought we were moving on to Star Wars Day.
Well, we are moving on to that, but Pickup Monkeys.
Monkeys!
Oh,
No, that's not how you.
I'm picking them up. I'm picking them up. No. Get up.
Okay,
I am king of the monkeys.
Your son Goku.
so yesterday was May 4th, official Star Wars Day.
Was it?
Yeah.
Ah.
It was official Star Wars Day yesterday.
Was it though?
Yeah, apparently
got
it's
this.
official. Yesterday I watched the original 3 movies. 4 or 5, 6, because they're the only ones that count.
I think it's wrong. No, it's not right. So I'm still playing with the monkeys. I'm not disagreeing with which are the good movies.
Okay.
The Emperor is actually Palpatine.
Whoa, Darth Vader's Luke's father.
Wait, what?
Okay, so yes.
Obi-Wan dies to Darth Vader.
Not spoilers.
I didn't
Oh
know
yeah, because Darth Vader's Luke's father, isn't
it ruined this for me.
So, what are your
Crushing
opinions
Charlie.
on Star Wars
Star Wars, I love that movie.
movies?
They're alright.
All 3 of them.
I did actually find
I
out
love all
something.
3 of the movies.
I did find out something interesting about like the whole Death Star thing, because you know how it's kind of weird how it's like, yeah, we'll introduce the Death Star in the first episode, and then like just make a second one for like the final episode that's half built. Well, apparently, like how George Lucas envisioned it is the Death Star wasn't meant to be introduced till the third, like the final episode. What's now episode 6. Like he wasn't planning to introduce it until that point, but everybody at the network, everybody told him that.
Is there any more monkeys?
No, that's it.
No, it doesn't. You can't.
Wait, what?
You can't have a perfect. That's fucked up.
Only Charlie would react like that.
Apparently, like nobody believed George Lucas that he like the first movie would do well. So instead of having the Death Star at the end of the the 6th episode like he wanted, he basically just put in the first movie because everybody told him there's no way this is going to make 3 movies. Shut up, George Lucas.
They were fuck George Lucas.
Whoa!
No, fuck him.
Don't be mean to people who sold out to Disney.
He's not good.
Neither is Michael Bay, but
No, he's not good. The films that they like control him on are the good ones.
That was the sound of Michael Bay.
They really should just declare the
orgasm.
first 3 films off canon.
huh?
They should declare the first 3 films off, but not the original. Not the
Episode 1 to 3.
yeah, the chronologically first ones.
Yeah.
Chronologically in terms of actual in Star Wars universe, they should just declare those off canon.
But they are in canon. But they make sense in canon.
But Metachlorians is a stupid idea.
Okay, ignoring the Metachlorians bit, the rest of it works in canon.
Yeah, but it's still stupid and bad.
Well, then just take that off canon. Everything else is fine.
No, it's not. They should take those films off canon. They're bad films. They should feel bad.
And you should feel bad too.
I would like to point out, though, that Emperor Palpatine,
Is handsome.
well,
Is a
Palpatine
sexy
the
devil.
Emperor / Darth Sidious is probably my childhood hero. Because he is the greatest evil tacticianist in the world. I mean,
Meanwhile, Yoda can kiss his pale, wrinkly ass.
I'd like to point out that during the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
he was like the leader of both sides of the war. So
Well,
no
that makes
matter
it easy.
what happened, he was going to win.
Yeah, but that
That's
makes it easy.
beautiful.
No, that makes it easy.
But that's just genius.
That's cheating. That's not. That's too easy. You know. It's like playing chess against yourself.
They're evil. When did they play
Actually, I'm
it fair?
generally losing it in chess against myself. Because myself always knows what I'm going to do.
I'm always confused.
Retard moments. You can't beat yourself. Shit.
I can never win. Oh, is it not?
Okay, out of the original, out of 4, 5, 6, right, which one is your favourite and which is your least favourite?
5's my favourite, 6 my least favourite.
A lot of people say that.
Yes, they do.
But why?
Popular opinion.
Well, a lot of people also like Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire Strikes Back. It's a prior.
Well, I don't understand why, because I mean, okay, other than Ewoks, which apparently most people hate.
Oh, I don't think
Ewoks are brilliant. They can go fuck themselves.
Like, what's wrong with the third movie? What's wrong with 6?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just my least favorite.
But yeah, I don't understand why people are like, the first 2 are way better, because 6 doesn't seem any different from the other 2.
Although you do have the Sarlacc bit, which is fucking cool. I don't know now. 6 might be my favorite. It's the Sarlacc.
A giant butthole in sand.
Although
You
I gotta
got
make
really
teddy bears.
quiet.
Teddy
I'm
bears.
very fond of the Sarlacc.
Teddy bears.
Everyone might want to speak
Ewok
up. I
teddy
mean,
bears.
Yeah.
everyone's gone kind of quiet. The whole part of that video was just like.
That's because
really
we were
blank.
actually just sat in silence.
No, because it had a little bit of talking for us, and we weren't talking, we were just being silent.
What's your favorite of the Lord of the Rings then?
All of them.
Yeah, but
I like
If
maybe,
you had to choose, which one?
my favorite
Number
is
2.
the first.
I like
Really?
Two Towers. I like Two Towers
I
more.
love Fellowship.
Fellowship is my least favorite
But you're
because
wrong.
it's so slow.
That's why it's good. It's very slow and very interacty.
Yeah, I just find it way too slow.
I like
Return of the
2
King's
more.
my least favorite.
Oh, Return of the King is probably my favorite just because of the ghosts.
And Two
Oh,
Towers.
here
The
we
Ghost
go.
Army is
Two Towers
brilliant.
is my favourite. So we got the guy like Fellowship, the guy like Two Towers, and William who likes Return of the King. Here we
But
go.
Ghost Army.
which do you prefer? Return of the King or Fellowship? There's one right answer.
Oh, there's one right answer and 2 people with different answers. Ah. No comments. You cannot beat me for that one.
I prefer Return of the King.
No.
It's the best.
You haven't
And-
watched any of the Hobbit films yet.
And
I'm waiting for
and
the
I'd like to
sequel.
point out, the movie Fellowship is inaccurate because Boromir doesn't die until the end of the beginning of Twin Towers. So Boromir dies too
They
early.
cut the films off differently to where the books and stuff
And
happen.
also,
I find
it's
saying it's even more
to be-
irrelevant.
to
The
be
game Lord of the Rings Battle of Middle-earth, Boromir lives if you beat the Shadow of Lurtz first. I beat the Shadow of Lurtz with the hobbits. I got Frodo to kill him.
I would also like to point out.
Frodo's not in that scene.
Frodo threw a rock at him and it killed Lurtz. It's like, yes, I killed Lurtz and saved Boromir.
I would also like to point out, though, that the reason Boromir died in the first film is because he was played by Sean Bean, and everybody knows Sean Bean
died.
Sean Bean isn't allowed to live past the film. The only things he's lived through is Sharp, or when he plays the bad guy. So, because Sean Bean was playing a good guy, he had to die first film. It's rules.
I like Boromir.
Boromir was good. His father was a dick, and his
Boromir.
brother had angsty had daddy issues.
Boromir
Daddy,
actually,
don't love me.
Boromir in the books was a self-insert for Tolkien. He
Was
made
he?
himself the shit brother.
You know, I think Tolkien was trying to say something
To
here.
be fair, in the movies,
Boromir wasn't
Peter
shit. He was
Ja-
just misunderstood.
To be fair, in the movies, Peter Jackson made himself the guy who dies by an arrow to the chest, like almost into the extended edition.
When was Peter Jackson in that?
You know when Legolas, it's in Return of the King with Legolas, Aragorn, and Gimli, and they're up against like all those boats.
Oh,
and
and just having him in the front,
the
just get shot
captain's
right
like,
now.
"Ha, you can't, what you gonna beat us with?" And Legolas like, Aragorn's like, "Fire a warning shot," and then Gimli's like, "You're gonna miss." Kicks his bow, like fires into Peter Jackson's chest.
I bet you can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Battle of Middle-earth, Legolas has my most kills. It's ridiculous.
It's
So, Legolas, how are you doing? 700 kills left.
You
Damn
know
it,
what
Legolas.
interests me the most, though, above
Gimli.
everything else, is the fact we started talking about Star Wars, and now we're talking about Lord of the Rings.
Because Lord of the Rings is much more interesting than
Yeah.
video games for much more video games.
Actually, thinking about video games for Star Wars, right?
Battlefront.
Battlefront.
No. I was
Battlefront
thinking,
were brilliant.
this is a video
About-
game that I want
Yeah.
to
Which one was your favourite? 1 or 2?
Two.
2. Had to be 2.
Actually, this is a
I
video.
heard rumours that there's a new one coming out, but I think it's
Yeah,
bullshit.
they were originally planning it, but I think they lost funding halfway through.
This is more like a video game I want James to make, because you're becoming a game developer, so you have to make it. Basically,
Don't do it, James.
it's a real-time
You want me to make loads of games,
No, I
like the
thought-
game where you wanted
this
me
would
to
be-
make the random game with no plot.
No, this would be great, right? It's a real-time strategy game. One person plays the Death Star, and the rest of the people play the fighters trying to destroy the Death Star. And the person playing the Death Star has to defend the point where they destroy the Death Star and he can like.
So if they put a grate over it, they win the game.
No, they can't do shit like that, but they can put like turrets or like send their own fighters.
You know,
after
just
them.
10 turrets
then,
around the hole. Have fun, bitches.
A real-time strategy game where like one person plays Death Star, one person plays Rebels.
If they just put a grate over that hole, they win though. You should let them put. A
Or,
grate
you
over the
know,
hole.
just turn the shit figures. Luke like smash. Oh, he died. Oh. Back to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Back to Lord of the Rings.
What do you think? What do you? Yeah.
Blah.
I mean, I did like Return of the King, but I only really liked the battles to it and the ghosts. That was about it. Military battle and the ghosts are my
Actually,
favourite
to
part.
be fair, that
Really
really counts
irritating.
as one.
You know the battle at the end of the second.
What do you mean?
Didn't even get that reference. That only counts as one.
Oh, right, that moment kill. Like, that still only counts as one.
You know the big fight at the end of the Two Towers? I cannot remember what it's called. What's the
Ah,
name?
Battle
Helm's
for
Deep. Thank
Helm's
you.
Deep.
Which was my favourite damn battle in
Yeah.
the films.
That's my second choice.
I prefer the bit with the ghosts because
Actually, I like the ends as well, because if you get the extended edition, you just see all the Urukai charging the bombs, and then you just see the tree shaking, and the ends are just killing them all. You're just screaming like, lol, they got violated by ends.
I like.
And then you have the hobbits. Weed!
My-
There's weed in here, like, god damn it.
The problem is, my favourite bit is like that bit where they've been struggling the entire time to take out a couple of like million of orcs or something, or something,
Tens of
something.
thousands.
And
Tens of thousands.
And then just like Aragorn's like, "Hey, we're here." Just like, "Oh God, how are free people gonna help us? Don't worry." Ghost Swarm just like fucking annihilates everything.
Tens of Thousands was in Helm's Deep. That one was about a few 100,000.
Yeah, and
Minister.
this ghost just fucks them up.
Yeah, but the ghosts couldn't die, except to Aragorn. Only Aragorn could fight them. And
I'm pretty sure Sauron probably his weapon probably could have done it.
he probably
Yeah.
could have, but Sauron was still a
They're
ghostly
like-
eye in the sky at
Then
that
he got
point.
super magic, so he's basically a more OP Gandalf.
Yeah, but Sauron was still a ghostly eye in the sky with issues at that point.
Daddy issues.
With jewelry issues.
I lost my bling! No, push!
Well, that was a blooming over the top.
Everyone knows they should have just flown on the
That would have ruined the movies.
No.
No, but in the game, I've been it was ridiculous. I've saved both Gandalf the Grey and Boromir.
Wait,
did
you
you
saw
do the Balrog?
Gandalf the Grey and...
Yeah, I defeated the
Wait,
Balrog
wait.
alone.
If you save Gandalf the Grey, can you get Gandalf the White?
Yeah.
Okay, that's dumb and shouldn't happen.
Wait, so you can have two double Gandalf?
No, you just get a blooming...
Double Gandalf
You
power!
just upgrade him.
No, you should get double Gandalf power.
Gandalf, go train. I'm white now. For fuck's sake, Gandalf, you racist
No,
bastard.
He just goes to like a shower, he puts his clothes in the washing, you know.
Removes his hat,
Yeah.
cleans his beard.
no, you should just get dual Gandalf power.
No, I still think my favourite part was when Frodo killed Lurtz. Just throws a rock at Lurtz and Lurtz just dies. Like, for fuck's sake,
Oh,
Lurtz.
you mean like throwing rocks at elephants?
I throw the box and when we kill my Battle for Middle Earth 2. I win!
Frodo's not even in that scene, is he?
D&D.
Yeah, technically he's running away in a different direction, but you get control, so you just lead everyone swarming through the Urukai to the boats. It's hilarious. Yeah, but I like how you get them in clips of speech from it as well. So you got Gimli like 18, 19, I'm beating you all. 41, 42, 43.
Yeah,
What was
but
that?
who wins though?
Gimli.
Because they
No,
crawl
Gimli wins later in third game. Oh no, second game. Second film, wasn't it? Where Gimli pulls off one more kill with the
Yeah, but you have one to draw.
No, Gimli cheats.
Gimli doesn't cheat.
He was twitching. Because
No, he had
No,
an
no.
axe in his head.
Yeah, just
Oh, wait, no, it was
Legolas
Legolas who
not to
cheated.
cheat. It's like
It was
it's
Legolas who
moving.
cheated.
It's moving with my axe. It's embedded in its nervous system. No, but Gimli was cheating because he's standing on top of ladders. One.
Well.
Gimli was cheating on top of two ladders. 21, 22, 22.
Nobody thought it was
Still only counts for one.
Yeah.
Third film. Like, No, but it's ridiculous because Helm's Deep battle. You know, in the film, loads of horsemen charging down the hill to save everyone.
Yeah.
In mine, I had peasants, heavily armored veteran peasants charging down the hill into the wrong guy. I was like, I win. With the odd horseman squad, like yes.
Look for me
I
on
mean,
the
my
morning
favourite part
sun.
of
Just
Lord of
look
the
out
Rings-
over the hill.
There's
With
a
a filthy
filthy peasant.
rags with sticks just running.
My favourite
Heavy
part about
armoured
Lord of the
rags.
Rings.
Heavily armored
My
rags.
favourite part about Lord of the Rings is probably the bit where the spaceship comes down and blows up the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah, that was cut.
Oh, what?
Oh yeah,
They
that.
cut it.
Because
It was
Oh
deemed
no, you haven't watched the Super Extended Edition.
it was deemed invalid to the film because
Oh,
that
right.
was basically like a Final Fantasy IX ending where you get a bad guy you never knew of.
Yeah, just comes out of nowhere and it's like, I'm going to kill you all because you've been killing people.
Because you're cute and I want to kill cute things. What?
Wow.
Splat. That guy has cute issues. Yeah, then you had
It's
Third
almost like
Age.
that amazing spoiler.
Then
I
you have
told,
the game Lord of the Rings Third Age, where you don't destroy them, you just beat up the Eye of Sauron. There's like three
Wait,
guys, six
what?
guys on top of the flipping tower, smacking the Eye of Sauron with swords and staff and spear and magic. Like, what? That doesn't work! Then my guy tried 999, 6 lots of 9999 damage to Sauron's eye, then you're just like, oh look, Frodo throws a ring in. That was pointless! You kill him before Frodo was like, why didn't you just do that before? Send your whole army to beat him with swords and stuff. Almighty powerful eye. Sticks beat you. Great game throughout. Plot followed. Sauron beaten by 6 guys.
I think James has gone crazy.
he's crazy.
He's crazy with power.
No,
You need to practice your evil laugh.
I just do the quick psychotic laugh. You just do the evil laugh. Your teeth ruin it. Your
Well, no,
yellow teeth.
Like
Like
evil, so it works. It's fine.
Charlie's laugh.
And then you have
You're like Grima Wormtongue of the evil. He's Smeagol.
Yeah.
No bubbles, go away. Anyway, we went massively off subject. Lord of the Rings is better, but you know.
Yeah, we went from like Star Wars. Let's talk about Star Wars Day to like Lord of the Rings. I'd like to
Which
point
film
out,
is your favourite? I'll beat you up if you give me the wrong answer.
I'd like to point out Lord of the Rings Day isn't until October,
I know.
and that's something I made up. So
You know we're gonna have to watch that. We're gonna have to record this. Like, oh,
What,
opinions.
Lord of the Rings Day.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Hobbit films coming out.
Oh, I gotta wait one more year before I'm allowed
We
to
get
watch
extended
them.
editions. We will both wait for the extended edition so we can watch them all. Add them to the end of the Lord of the Rings Day. So it's
No,
like what?
beginning of the. We start at midnight. Start with the Hobbit 1. Move all the way through till Return of the King.
Yeah, I'm allowed to come to this, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course you are. Everyone's
But we
invited.
gotta wait a year yet before we can watch Hobbit.
Except after one experience, it's probably best that girlfriends don't come along.
and Hallam's.
And Hallam's.
Never
Hallam
mind
and Charlotte
Hallam's.
come along. They got along well, but Charlotte fell asleep and Hallam was just basically the whole time trying to cuddle her and her pushing him away. And Lola's fell asleep as well. I was like, lol.
Just like, God, you pussies.
And there's me and William. Fucking pussies. Why do I can't have this girl?
The Rings Day. Come on, man.
Jake
Yeah, we're-
Rubin was there
wait,
and he
how
sat in the
long are
hallway
the-
and watched different films altogether. It was
How-
like watching Underworld.
How long are the the Hobbit films? Are they?
They're like the current. I don't know how long the extended ones will be, but
I know
currently
the
they're 2.5
second one is
each-ish.
currently about 2.5, maybe
Yeah,
a bit
they're
more.
also-
So we're looking at about
3 hours each. 3 hours, 4 hours each. Or 3.5.
So hang on, when are we gonna have to start to watch all of them?
Well, the normal one takes about 10 hours. Add that to another about 8 or 9 hours, maybe more.
So 19 hours. It's gonna be a good day.
Where should we have the end of it? Life well spent.
Ah,
My ass, I
We're
can't
gonna need a
feel
lot
my
more
legs.
popcorn than normal though.
and bacon.
I don't like popcorn. We need bacon. I agree with the bacon. High five to the
Can we
bacon.
get a cooker up here?
We don't do it down here. We do it in the living room. We bring the giant TV downstairs into the living room.
If we set fire.
If we get Sauron's eye, put the
Oh
bacon
shit!
in
Lord
there.
of the Rings Day might have to be moved
Why?
Why?
because I'm not gonna be down here next. When
Oh shit. No, we have to come to your house in Leicester.
yeah, we could do that. That'd be great.
That's if we can do it before, because I might have trouble getting to you in Leicester because I'll be freaking in uni. Although
we might have
I'm
to
finished from now
move Lord of the
until
Rings Day.
September.
We might have to
I finished
move
like
Lord of the
6
Rings
or 7
Day.
weeks ago. I was like, yeah.
We might have to move it into into summer.
Okay, I'm good at that.
Happy
Probably best time
But
as well.
although
That'll give
the
us time to
extended
recover
for-
from
the
19 hours.
extended for the third one won't be out till next December, I don't think.
I'm not sure. Anyway, we've gone massively off subject.
We always
Next,
go
you wanted to
massively-
do was talk about Yamuchi.
You can't even say his name.
Can't even remember that in a minute.
Brian.
Brian.
Yeah. You want to do about the old Nintendo leader
Yeah, okay,
Yamauchi.
so he died recently, which is pretty sad. Like, when do you know exactly when he died? Because you did internet research.
No, it didn't actually say when he died. I think about 2000. What am I saying about?
It was this year.
Yeah.
It
I
was,
don't know. It just gave a year. That was it.
it was it was. I think it was sometime last month or the month before.
That's nice.
You know, it's probably better if you turn on and talk to the mic. rather
Yeah,
than
it
talk
was
to
yeah.
us.
like really recently. It was like either last month or the month before that he died, and I just
Talk up.
I thought that we
People
should.
need to hear your sadness.
I thought we should talk about him because of how important he is to the gaming industry. Although he hated video games, which is hilarious.
Right, he became overlord of the Nintendo company back in about 1970.
Yeah, he was the one who turned Nintendo from let's make the playing cards to we should make video games.
Because I hate video games.
Well, to be fair, it's because there was a lot of money in video games, so he was like, yeah, we'll do this, we'll get money. But yeah, interestingly, Yamauchi actually really hated video games and was always trying to move the company into like a more tech-based communications company. And like but because of how like the only thing he could get to sell had Mario on it, he had no choice but to make video games.
That's one of the problems Nintendo's have. They can't make anything other than game stuff because Sony.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
Sony fridge, you'll buy that. Sony television, you'll buy that. Yeah. You cannot have a fridge labeled Nintendo.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Where's my DS with it?
But yeah, that's the thing. Yamuchi always wanted Nintendo to not just
You'd
be a
expect to have
games
to use your
company, but he
You'd expect to
couldn't.
use your fridge with a wireless controller you swing around.
Like if you,
Open!
like if James had
Stop
actually
motion.
bothered reading the book I gave him,
Yes,
like
James.
all
Why
through,
didn't you bother doing the book?
What are you putting your shoes on?
all through Nintendo's history, Yamuchi was trying to move it into like, okay, so they added the Famicom, they added like a system where you could trade stocks online, and he was doing that all through Nintendo's history, but every time it failed. He was so sad. Oh, James is having a 2 minutes of silence for him.
I think we should.
I don't know how many people would actually be willing to do that, but
2 minutes of silence, let's go. Right, I cut out a 2 minute silence. because I thought it'd be just pointless for the episode. Right. Oh, my ankle! I am a genius and you know it. Right, if we had a 2 minute silence, so I'd cut down to 2 seconds worth.
they should just pause the video there. For 2 minutes. Pause the video.
No,
for 2
no,
minutes.
we did our 2 minutes silence, we cut it out when I edited it. Shut up!
Okay. So yeah, seriously though.
I am a comedic genius. Anyway. Right, tell us more about what Yamuchi did, Will. Because
Okay, so it was
Charlie doesn't seem to have much, and I have even less, I'm sure.
It was him who introduced. It was really him who got. I can't remember his name. Oh, Miyamoto, to create Donkey Kong in the first place because Yamuchi wanted Radar Scope failed horribly in America, and which was a game about radars and scopes.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. This game called Radar Scope failed horribly in America, and he wanted a game to. He wanted to create a game that could they could turn the radar scope cabinets into to save money. So he ran an in-house competition to see who could make the best game, which Miyamoto ended up winning with Donkey Kong. So as much as the fact that Yamuchi hated Mario because it meant he could never turn away from video games, it's his fault Mario was
And he
introduced.
didn't really care near because he became one of the rich people in Japan.
Well, yeah, but he never really, as I said, he never really wanted to through video games. He always tried to make it a let's trade stocks online company.
Because that would have been so good.
Well, to be fair, people do it now all the time, but when he was trying to introduce it, people didn't want that shit.
Well, no, but I mean, people do it as it. Only business people. When you want a gaming console, you don't want to trade stocks. I mean, that's like Pokemon stock trading. I want to trade my Pokemon for your money.
Yeah, he was
I
like
would
the
do that.
13th richest person in Japan, right?
I will give you all my Pokemon for money.
I don't play Pokemon.
Liar.
But yeah,
I don't.
Liar.
I'm afraid it's not a lie.
It is.
He's the
Everyone
13th
plays
richest
Pokemon.
person in Japan, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was
What's
third richest with 2.1 billion net worth.
Is that US dollar?
Uh,
Yen?
I think it was in on the site I was looking at, it's equivalent to 2.1 billion net worth of dollars, but it's a lot more in Japan, of course.
Yeah.
It's a couple of trillion yen, I imagine.
He was also kind of like
300, I reckon.
300. No, because
300 billion yen, I think.
Probably, because yen's a lot
I just remember.
cheaper, less, smaller currency than dollars are.
You know, I think it's about that, because, you know, FromSoft, they're makers of Dark Souls.
right.
They were recently bought from Namco Bandai by Kadokawa?
Wah!
Hang on.
Bubble
Kadokawa.
Have a look. Oh, Kadokawa.
Thank you.
Kadokawa.
They were recently bought by Kadokawa, and and there was a statistic that was like how much they grossed last year, and it was 1.2 billion, and they were worth like 300 billion yen or something like that. On an unrelated note, but yeah.
That's pretty good. But
So yeah, more like 600 billion.
maybe, yeah. Right, anything else you want to add to that
I was just going to say that, like, in general...
one? I enjoyed our 2 minutes silence. I
Yeah.
felt that was
In
totally
general,
worth
he
it.
was, like, an amazing businessman, and the only... Like, Nintendo survived as long as it did because of how fucking insane he was. Like, no matter how many times Nintendo failed, he was like, no, I'm not going to accept this failure. We're going to fuck other people's shit up! Like all through Nintendo's history, it was him like pushing Nintendo forward, and when he retired, that's when Nintendo started going down the toilet.
Oh dear.
But like he was also kind of a dick, but that's what made him an amazing businessman. Like when he first took over the business, he fired every single one of like the higher up employees, so there could be nobody could try to claim. Actually, I should lead this company. He fired everyone, so nobody was.
I thought he fired the board of directors.
Yeah, he fired the board of directors, so nobody could try and claim they should run the company, not him. And then
That's genius.
And then he also forced his son-in-law to take over Nintendo America, even though his daughter was like, "No, you shouldn't do this. My father is like just completely ignores his family because he only cares about his business. Don't go into business with my father." But he forced his son-in-law to go in to run Nintendo of America against his will. And like all through, there was like this battle of who would retire first, and I think in the end, as soon as rumors started that Yamauchi was thinking of retire, Akakawa, his son-in-law, was like, "Ha! I'm retiring first, fucker!" That was great.
Move the mouse pad.
But yeah, Yamauchi, like,
Yeah, but
live long and prosper.
I bet that family's got some serious dough now.
Yamuchi's Spock.
Yamauchi is fuck.
Probably.
Well, actually,
We
no,
just did
he's
it.
sorry.
Spock
He's
is dead.
sorry.
No.
Sorry.
2 minutes silence.
Sorry,
Spock, I
Yamuchi.
never realised.
Yamushi is probably more like the Kirk to Miyamoto Spock.
Right. Okay. Right. I think we are done now, are we
Unless
not?
there's anything else we want to
Because we're going to be talking about the Warhammer model upgrades later, are we not?
Well, we're playing Warhammer, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
We
we're
cannot do
we're
a full-
actually planning to do that this week.
We
because
cannot do a
always say
full
we're planning to do
battle
it,
this
but we
time. We cannot do a full battle because our armies are too goddamn large. I mean, now it's about 2,000. Yours is about 2,000. Mine's about 3,000.
never. We'll
Maybe
only
it's more
have
skirmish.
probably like 300 points per army.
That's what gets me what? It's tactical squad and a drift.
It also makes it fair for everybody who isn't a Space Marine faggot.
William has troubles.
I'm not sure what is going on.
Okay, so
That basically will rule out all of your strong
we'll talk
units.
about this when we actually get round
Aw.
to playing Warhammer. But is there anything
Please
else
do it
you want to talk
Lord of
about
Rules first,
before
son.
we end?
No, I think we're
I am
done.
happy that FromSoft were bought by
So
Kadokawa.
you have say everybody comment on whether they like Charlie as a guest, although nobody actually listens, so nobody will comment. But
I'll comment.
yeah,
And I'll send you a hate
mail.
mail as well.
yeah.
I like me as a guest. Fuck you, James.
I don't know if James should be. I don't know, but yeah, we might bring Charlie back as a guest. We might never let him join ever again.
Do the best thing we can do. Get my brother to watch it, get some views.
Yeah.
Get his friends to watch it, get some views.
So once again,
Realise that was a big mistake and lose all our views.
Okay, so ending. So once again, I've been William Lawrence.
I want to know. I've got to ask this somehow. You keep saying I've been Williams. Who are you otherwise?
Oh no, because during the podcast I have been William Lawrence. Like, so to
Who are
remind
you
them,
otherwise?
to
Who
remind
are you
them
otherwise?
who's talking.
That's kind of suggests you're.
Oh, I'm Bob Kelso.
Fuck, and you don't give. You have two thumbs and you don't give.
I
a crap?
have 2 thumbs and don't give a crap. But
All right.
during
I am
this,
always James
during
Fish,
this podcast,
the
the
secret
person
advertiser,
you have
and I'm
been
Kelsey
listening
Grammer.
to, It's been William
And your
Lawrence,
real name?
James
Kelsey
Fish,
Grammer.
and Kelsey Grammer.
Charlie
Wait.
Brewer in this episode.
I endorse this, Kelsey Grammer.
Okay.
And you suck if you don't know who Kelsey Grammer is.
So, bye-bye.
Press stop. No, stop.
No, we should pause.